Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game of 120 versus FoCuS. This game taking place here on Hammerfall. Let's go ahead and get to that 2-minute mark, see what heroes are in store for us as 120 spawns as the blue undead on the top left-hand side, going for a Death Knight. Meanwhile, FoCuS going for that Farseer on the bottom right. All right, quick tech to tier 2. Tech to tier 2 before Orc Burrow, War Mill, and Barracks, and Voodoo Lounge. So FoCuS really hoping to put pressure with this Farseer. He knows that he can't really get that much creeping going, and instead gonna try and stop the Death Knight from being able to get that creeping in, or at least put pressure while he is creeping here. Death Knight absorbing quite a bit of damage here. We're gonna see one skeletal minion getting taken down. Farseer gets the Death Knight gets the last hit. Farseer able to get some damage there, though, as the Farseer was the one who picked up the item. So Death Knight got the experience. Farseer gets the item, as this Hydra hatchling now fighting up against a couple of Spirit Wolves. Farseer is still looking to put in pressure on that Death Knight, as we see that auto attack ball just constantly putting the pressure on that Death Knight here. Meanwhile, one Acolyte in the back has scouted out the Great Hall here, and now FoCuS is going into dual barracks. Interesting build order. FoCuS transitioning it from 0 barracks to dual barracks while getting up a War Mill. So we could be looking at mass headhunters with fast tech to tier 2, or that's exactly what we're looking at. Mass headhunters with the fast tech to tier 2, the dual racks to help try and make up for the lost time by building up another construction building. Death Knight, is it going to come across, get the Death Coil for the final hit there? Not quite sure what is it doing. Why isn't the Death Knight doing it? There we go. He does get the final hit, but the item goes to the Farseer again. All right, after all of that creeping, the Farseer has 2 items, but I don't believe got many kills on actual creeps there, as the Death Knight does have the experience lead slightly. All right, more damage racked up here. Crypt Fiends trying to back away. Tech to tier 2 halfway done for Undead. Tech to tier 2 nearly done for Orc, as we are already, or we should be looking at mass headhunters now being trained up. There's a Voodoo Lounge as well getting trained up, and this is all to receive that Farseer a little bit later. Are we also going to be looking at a Tauren Chieftain? No, Shadow Hunter and a quick tech to tier 3. FoCuS is going to be at tier 3, I believe, around the 6-minute mark of this game here, and that is an incredibly fast tier 3, perhaps trying to get up to mass berserkers before the undead is able to get high-level spells. Now, the one reason why mass berserkers generally doesn't work well in the late game for Orc is because against undead is because of spell damage from the undead. This is a pure timing-based attack to try and run across the field with headhunters, 475 berserkers, excuse me, while the opponent's Death Knight is maybe still at level 2, and the Lich is maybe still even at level 1. We are going for Dark Ranger first, though, so this could be an interesting play. Farseer still completely content with staying at level 1 here, knowing everything that went down, as we are looking at the Shadow Hunter perhaps moving forward to do a little bit of creeping. All right, production has come to a standstill since gold is the limiting factor here, as the Farseer tries to do a bit of creeping to get a little bit more gold and get on the board with experience. Here we are, here we go. Headhunter production is not going to stop here. Shadow Hunter clearing out the Forest Troll Warlord creep camp. There's level 2 on the Farseer, picking up a potion of greater healing, as the Farseer now backs away to try and give more experience to the Shadow Hunter. Meanwhile, Farseer, does he have chain? He does have chain lightning. Is he going to try and start picking apart? Oh, there's that free bit of experience right there. Doesn't go after it. Thank you for the sub, as the Farseer summons up some Spirit Wolves, and now perhaps going to go after this Forest Troll Warlord. All right, Headhunters making their way through. That Farseer taking a little bit of damage, going to be forced to retreat back. Could transfer the Potion of Healing, and does transfer the Potion of Healing here as a little bit more damage. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around. There goes a quick Hex. One Crypt Fiend could get taken down, denied by creeps. So the Farseer and the Shadow Hunter is still behind on experience by quite a bit. Forest Troll Warlord still right here. Is he going to absorb a lot of damage? Is it going to give experience to the Shadow Hunter? Yes, he is. There's a potion of invulnerability, as the Ogre Warrior now getting focused down a bit as well. We should be looking at that Berserker upgrade. We are getting up a third hero, and we're going to have mass Headhunters with or mass Berserkers with Orc heroes, and the Undead heroes are still at level 2 and level 1. 37 supply compared to 27. 120, very, very much behind in the supply race as well, even though his army is slightly larger. All right, we are going up into a bestiary, getting up the Orc burrows. FoCuS has foregone any of the reinforced defense upgrades, knowing that this is purely going to be a window of opportunity to attack. All right, when the Tauren Chieftain comes and makes his way out onto the battlefield, is he going to be bringing Stomp or Endurance Aura? That is the question. I think he might go Endurance Aura first, just because he wants more damage output from this army of Berserkers, but without having access to a single spell, that's going to be a bit tough for him, so he might try and level up to level 2 during this small window of opportunity. All right, Tauren Chieftain now making its way off to the north here, trying to catch up with the rest of this Orc army. 39 supply compared to 38, and this is a pure timing attack. Tauren Chieftain, the third Orc hero, already out on the battlefield at the 8-minute mark of this game here. Remember, he does not have Stomp. He has Endurance Aura. That's how he got out to the battle so quickly, and now the battle is going to rage on here. Unable to Stomp, but the Berserkers do have quite a bit of focused fire capability. Farseer gets up to level 3 as damage is racking up. Level 3 now on the Shadow Hunter, as we're seeing a forced Death Coil kill on one of those Berserkers here. Tauren Chieftain got a little bit of experience, but not very much. Other Orc heroes are going to purposely back away. That Tauren Chieftain needs access to Stomp or Shockwave at the very least to be a little bit more threatening. All right, Tauren Chieftain will get to level 2 here. Also picked up a Pendant of Energy. So a level 2 Tauren Chieftain with 340 mana is a scary presence. Finally, a red creep camp in the corner. Might as well creep it out if you think you can clear it up quickly. Tauren Chieftain has run across over here. There's a couple of Spirit Wolves as well. Is the Tauren Chieftain going to try to throw down a Stomp? No, doesn't even bother throwing down a Stomp. Kodo Beast is off over here. Tauren Chieftain picks up an Ankh of Reincarnation, so he'll be able to dive into battles. Also going to pick up a Tome of Intelligence +2. And with that, have access to even more mana, 400. Is it going to be... Well, nope, already picked it up. So yeah, 385 mana here on this Tauren Chieftain, and he's going to be ready to go. Meanwhile, down to the south, Lich is now going to be getting up to level 2. Death Knight and Shadow Hunter purposely just trying to cause a little bit of harassment here, getting in some damage as the Farseer now coming back around. Are we going to see some Chain Lightning? Death Knight, Death Coil should be inbound here as the Destroyers are making their rounds as well. Are we going to see any Frost Novas? No, we are not. The Farseer and Shadow Hunter putting pressure on each other, and you can see 120 simply didn't care that the Orc army was here, still trying to engage with creeps. Tauren Chieftain wants to get amongst all of this and then throw down a Stomp. There's some nice stuns. There's a Death Coil to save that Crypt Fiend as the Tauren Chieftain is in a little bit of trouble here, absorbing quite a bit of damage. Does have that Ankh of Reincarnation. Is he going to throw down another Stomp? Yes, he does. Down to 15, down to dead, but the Ankh of Reincarnation will be available for him. Shadow Hunter may consider trying to transfer that potion of invulnerability back over to him, as the Tauren Chieftain is now currently back up, ready to go. Meanwhile, a lot of damage absorbed onto that Obsidian statue as the Spirit Wolves are trying to dive in onto that spot. There goes another Stomp there. There goes a Crypt Fiend Destroyer up in the air now. A healing wave bouncing around as we're looking at the invul potion. Yes, transferred to that Tauren Chieftain. That Ankh of Reincarnation actually making a very big difference as the Death Knight unable to save that Crypt Fiend there. Perhaps just not able to get there in time. Are we going to see another Stomp here? There's a Purge onto the Obsidian statue. Stopping it in its tracks, and well, FoCuS with this timing attack really pushing in quite a bit of damage. Is the Lich going to get taken down? Death Knight does have enough for a Death Coil, does get it in time and off as the Tauren Chieftain is now finally out of mana as the units are looking to retreat back. Tauren Chieftain does want to back away, does have an invul potion, uses it in time, and with that Ring of Regeneration will have a decent amount of hit points. Well, still be in the red, but not within a Death Coil range once it comes to an end. All right, a big window of opportunity for FoCuS. He was trying to get everything he possibly could out of his army with that timing attack. Did he deal enough damage? That is the question. He has a level 3 Farseer, level 3 Shadowhunter, level 3 Tauren Chieftain going up against a level 3 Death Knight, level 2 Dark Ranger, level 2 Lich. It is an army of mass berserkers, so those berserkers should be able to deal, are able to deal a large amount of damage. But as I said, once the Lich gets to level 3, that level 2 Frost Nova may be able to turn things around. This is simply a timing of trying to be as effective as you can with your current army and trying to push and, well, just come out and blitz out your opponent. Who gets the experience there? I don't think it was the Undead. I actually think the Farseer and Shadowhunter got that little bit of experience there, thereby delaying level 3 for the Lich again. All right. Angry Korea Man continuing to cheer for continuing to cheer for FoCuS. Tauren Chieftain coming back across here. FoCuS using a tiny Great Hall, able to set up an expo in no time flat. Meanwhile, well, at this point, getting gold and getting items is still helpful, even though we are not going to be getting enough experience to level up. With that said, though, well, all of these heroes are on the cusp of leveling up at 3.8 or 3.9. If we have a double or triple level up, that could make for a very interesting fight suddenly, as the auras and as the chain lightning and the hexes will last a little bit longer, maybe a faster movement speed as well. Shadowhunter should pick up this Tome of Agility since it is his primary attribute. Come on, wait for it. No, not going to go for it. Here we are off to the races, and in this battle, no, not false start, not ready to go just quite yet. Shadowhunter, are we going to go into an engagement there? Tauren Chieftain is still off to the side here. Both sides, who's going to be able to cast spells first? That is the question. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Holy Healing Wave, Stomp there. Level 4 now on that Tauren Chieftain. Level 2 Endurance Aura as level 2 now on that Shadowhunter as well. Potion of Invulnerability. Tauren Chieftain throws down another Stomp. Does get the Lich. Death Knight does not get the Death Coil as the Hex went down. Lich goes down, and that could be enough. The Hex on the Death Knight mid-animation for the Death Coil was the difference right there. A beautiful, beautiful game with FoCuS getting all of his heroes to level 3 very quickly, and then using that Hex. And that level 2 Hex did make the difference. That level 2 Hex lasting a second or two longer on heroes, preventing the Death Knight from getting the Death Coil off to save the Lich. And once the Lich was down, well, no chance of level 2 Frost Nova, meaning that all of those Berserkers could stay alive. FoCuS with a beautiful timing attack, rushing to tier 2 and tier 3. And also, importantly, setting up the Expo at the 6 o'clock position, forcing 120's hand to engage in a fight he may not really have wanted to committed to, as the game went longer, he would have just fell behind further. Let me know what you guys thought about this game and my commentary, my thoughts. Leave those in the comments below.